Hello, Omar. Thank you for the opportunity to review your website. I appreciate the fact that we were able to come to terms, and I think we're going to have a long relationship. What I would like to do is start off by giving you a foundation of what matters with conversions and optimization and the way people interact with web pages so that some of the advice I'm going to give you will make a little more sense. So there's kind of three things we care about when somebody is landing on your site. Number one, we want to make sure that the messaging is very concise. Is it short, which we're doing a good job at. It's not overly wordy. The words just aren't quite right. Then we've got to ask ourselves, is it compelling? Does it make me feel like I need to buy this product? And finally, credibility. Do I feel like if I buy it, it's going to benefit me? Okay, so clear, concise, and compelling. That's what we always want going through our minds when we're working on a website. And as we take a look at your product, I've talked to you quite a bit, and I've looked at the product itself, and it's good. The product's really good. I'm just not sure that we're doing the right job selling it, because remember, when we're going to a website, we want to be told how things are going to benefit us. So right now our messaging says, show your best friend how much you care. I'm not sure what that means. Does that make sense? I don't know what you're talking about. Then as I go a little deeper, I get pet first aid care package, LED outdoor pet pack, and state-of-the-art first aid app. Okay, I'm starting to get a bit of an idea, but two of those things seem like another way of just saying the same thing. We're just highlighting the fact that there's an LED on the pack with one of them, which I don't know is enough reason for me to want to buy. Okay, so what we've got to do is we've got to help people identify with fear points. We've got to help them understand that bad things can happen, right? And we're getting a little bit of that with this picture of the dog who's obviously got a head wrap on. But what I really want to talk about is how do you get that emotion? Can we say something more along the lines of, are you prepared if something happens to your dog? And then what's included? Not that it is a pet first aid care pack, but that it comes with everything you need to handle an emergency. What are you going to do if your dog's attacked by another dog until help gets there? Those are the kind of things we want to get across, because that's going to make me picture my dog hurt. And now we're getting into the emotion of, shoot, I wouldn't be prepared if that was the case, right? I wouldn't have anything. Maybe I need to buy this so that I'm better prepared. So the messaging really has to be focused on helping people understand that they're not ready for that emergency. I'm so sorry about my voice. That way we start to motivate them to get prepared. I hope that's making sense. The area we're looking at right here, this is called above the fold. This is hands down the most critical component of the website. It's where I make a decision of whether I'm going to do business or not. Okay, so we can do show your best friend how much you care, or we can say, are you prepared if trouble happens or if your dog's attacked? And rather than learn more, we can say, get prepared for only, what is it? It's not much money. For only $32, you can be prepared. Wait, I guess it would be 36 plus 32, right? So for $49, or you see how it's confusing already to me? I don't know what's what. So in this case, we'll just say $60, okay? So here we can say, get prepared for only $60. And then I know what it's going to cost me, what it's going to do, and how I'm going to benefit. That's what we want to get across to people, is those three things. I like the vet approved little badge that we have here. I would consider putting it up here in the upper right hand corner. The way people interact with the site is in one of two ways. It's either an F pattern or a Z pattern. The F pattern simply means we start in the upper left hand corner and we read across, then we come down like an F, and we read across again, and then we go down. The Z pattern is we start again in the upper left-hand corner. We scan across the top. We shoot down in a Z, and then we shoot back across, okay? What that means and why that's important is that's where all of your content that is critical needs to be, okay? So we want to have, you got your logo in the right place. I would move away from this exploding menu you have. It's just too big. And I'd break out the About Us and the Why Choose Us into their actual navigation. Since we don't have a lot of pages, we can have those stand alone on their own, and it'll make the page feel more robust. Okay, so we come down. We're saying, are you prepared if something happens? We're going to give the detail of what they're getting in the kits. We're going to say, get yours for, or protect your dog for just $60, whatever you guys come up with. That's good terminology there. I like get prepared, experience, convenience, and safety. Not so much. Get prepared tells me what I'm doing. Convenience, I don't know that carrying one of these around is so convenient if I haven't been. Safety is good. So I would rework that sentence a bit. Here's where we really get into trouble, is in understanding what I'm buying, right? I would recommend narrowing down your options to just one or two, okay? I don't know that people are, maybe they'll buy the app. Maybe that's a good low-cost option. We should have it there. But I don't know that I'd try to sell the pack and the kit, actual first aid equipment, separately if that's what we're trying to do here. I would stick more with just the combined packages. So this is going to give me everything I need. And we really don't want to confuse. Basically what you're doing right now is you're confusing the decision. And I'm going to be less likely to make a decision because I'm not comfortable in what I'm buying. Okay? So rather than having best value and all of that, let's just narrow it down to the app or the entire set. Okay? That way I'm not confusing. I'm really happy with your video, and I would encourage us to even consider moving it up on the page. Don't make it full width. Don't make it so big. Just pull it down and have it up here so that they can see what they're getting. But again, the video confuses the purchase because it makes me feel like I'm getting everything when that's only if I'm buying this one, right? So we've got to narrow down the offerings. In this section, I like what we're doing here. When an emergency strikes, things can go wrong. That's more of the emotion that we want to get across, right? Is that you're not prepared. You're not prepared. I can help you get prepared. Rather than learn more, we want to call to buy again, okay? Rather than view product, because as we go into the product page, we're not really giving, I guess we're giving the number of items, but we're not really driving it home quite the way that we'd want to, and we'll get into that in just a minute. But yeah, go back to buy. Reduce anxiety, access your comprehensive first aid app. I'm actually fine with this section because this is kind of just promoting that app, which I may need more information on. Again, we're more in the right emotion here. You have to respond quickly when your pet is in an emergency. And order now is fine, but I prefer protect your pup or something like that for just $60 or whatever your price point's going to be. We want to keep that in front of people. This is a stronger section again, where we've got the convenience and safety. I'm still not sure about this convenience piece, if that's really what we're selling, but it doesn't bother me as much in this situation. But what we're really starting to do is get the page to be a little too long. Okay, so this section, I'm not sure that it's doing enough for us to warrant pushing down these credibility builders. Okay, these are things that people recognize. NBC, I assume CTV, and these are something more popular in Canada. I'm not sure, But I would pull your credibility builders, this bar, I would pull up to just below your hero shot, right before we're talking money. So we've got learn more. We're going to change that to protect your pet for just $60 or whatever you come up with there. Then I'd have as seen on and those laid across here. What that does, and do your best to shrink this down so that those credibility builders show before you scroll. Okay. Everything's a little big here. We should have plenty of room to shrink it down. What it does is I feel better about my purchasing decision when I see that it's been well known that way. Okay, so credibility builders. I'd also put the type of credit cards you accept somewhere up here in the bar, even right here before your social media is fine. Those credit card companies make people feel better because it's images they recognize. If you have a security certificate, I'd put the logo for it up here as well. It's kind of an older tactic, but it still works. We want people to know if they put their credit card information in that they're going to be okay. Okay. From there, we're going to break out the navigation so it's not all up under here. We want it just stretched across. We want to pull this vet approved, badge up into this area because we're going to catch it with the F as we go across or with the Z as we're coming back across. Okay. We just want that to be in a more prominent position. I like all three images we're using here, but I may consider reordering them with the hurt dog first so that it's sending that message. Cut down the number of products. It's too confusing. I don't know what I'm buying. You know, you're well versed in this. You understand thoroughly, so I'm sure it isn't confusing to you. But to somebody who hasn't dug in, it's confusing. Take the video, move it up, move your credibility builders up to the top, and just cut down the overall length of the page. Okay. Information, let's go through some of these additional pages. I don't think we need search. I think we just need to take it away. We're going to be a 2-product store. We don't need it. Privacy policies fine. Terms of service and refunds is all good. Pet first aid essentials. This is your product page. This will come down to just being 2 items, so I know what I want to buy. Let's go. That's essentials. About us. Let's just talk about this real quick. It's not really an about us, right? It's a newsletter call out. And it's got your, let me just see if this is erring on me or if that's what we've got intended. Okay. This about us down here was not taking me where I wanted to go. I'm not sure what was happening there. About us's are always good because it gives somebody a background if they want it. This is really weird, though, because we've got the title centered, and then we've got less justified on all the content, and that just makes it feel thrown together and sloppy. We don't want that. I would prefer a picture of you and a dog or of, something real where we tell a story about wanting to help our, Daisy. Where we talk about needing to help her, and we want to identify with you and Daisy in this situation because this is about you, right? This is about your background. You should always have a call out to action here. So if I'm reading and I want to buy, we don't want them to have to go back to the home page and then find the product. So since we're just going to have 2, feel free to put those 2 products right down here if Shopify makes that easy enough. Definitely fix your justification. Make sure everything stays consistent throughout it all. You've got a call out that actually pops up and down here for a newsletter. I don't really know that I need to know your sales or new releases or more. I don't think I'm going to sign up for it. If you could come up with tips for caring for your dog in emergency situations, tips on using the products, those kind of things I'm far more likely to sign up for as I kind of go through and read and learn about your product. The Why Choose Paws for Life, this is desperate for some images. If we don't make it visually compelling, then people aren't going to engage. And if they don't engage, then they're not going to buy. I don't mind the content. I went through and I read it all. It's a little generic as to why you should buy it, because we're talking about the product again and not the peace of mind that I'm going to get. So what I recommend is you can leave the quality price, leave all these here, but we really have to talk about being there and your responsibility to be there for your pet. By doing that, then you're clicking emotion, right? That's what we want, is to hit the emotional buttons. And that's really the advice I have on the whole thing, is don't talk so much about the product. Talk about the benefit that it's going to give your customer. How's it going to help them be a better pet owner? What are you going to do when your dog's hurt and you're not prepared? Now for just $60 you can be. So we want to make sure that's the message that's going through all throughout the website on every single page. So let's just look at your product pages real quick, and I'm just going to look at let's go here, at the complete kit, because I think that's what you should sell. Okay. Introductory special offer, good. The $60, $143. I don't know how I missed this, but honestly I did. You may want to bump this up a couple font sizes, or even put it up here above Pet First Aid combo offer. We're not going to call it the combo offer anymore. It's just the kit. Okay. Free shipping is good. Having the Canada Post is good, because it's, again, a recognizable. Both of these are good. They're recognizable. This is good. It's recognizable. Your product page is doing much better, except for there's no description of what are the 29 essential pest items. And maybe they're not that cool. I don't know why we don't list them out. But if it'll let you do an accordion, and accordions where you click and it drops down, and to list out those 29 things, then I know what I'm buying, right? The LED bag's obvious, and the guide is obvious. However, I would make this link clickable to the guide page so that I can go learn more about it if I want to. See what people are saying is good. However, it's way more powerful if you add an image. And I don't mean a Photoshop beautiful glamour image. I mean a real person, right? Somebody who looks like me, or looks like the everyday guy, because that's who we want to see. That's the club we want to be part of. So do that. Change the newsletter to stuff that's compelling and will make me want to sign up. If not, take it off, okay? Because we don't want to distract people with things that aren't beneficial and are not going to help us. You've done a good job putting these pay things here. I would also put them up here, okay? Just recognizable images, things that make us more comfortable. Anything else, like when you get in the magazine, make sure you have that magazine featured. Maybe even put your ad on here, so that people are comfortable with that. So I hope this has been helpful. I know that if we implement these things, that you will have a much better opportunity to convert. I'm happy to help take a look once you've made the changes. Of course, I have to charge for it, but I'll keep it really reasonable. Anyway, thanks. Hope to talk to you again soon. Goodbye.